Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host Selassie Fiao, and later this evening session for the athletics will take place at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. This morning, the morning session for athletics was delayed because of some rain. Yesterday was quite hot. Grateful for the rains today. That cooled things down. We should be getting probably faster times from the athletes. We should be getting good numbers from them as the weather has cooled down. It was hot, 48 degrees Celsius hot. It was pretty hot, and I'm sure someone would have suffered a heat stroke if that weather had continued in that vein. And we're happy there's some rain this morning, but also despite the All Africa Games being the center of attention, upcoming is the game between Ghana and Nigeria. And many are calling it a friendly game, but there is no friendship in this one here. Yes, we are friends, but there's a lot on the line here, despite it being just a friendly. Ghana and Nigeria will score off on the 22nd, and I've got team news for you. Players have arrived in camp. 13 of them have arrived in camp as camp opened on Monday. We'll be giving you updates on who those players are. So don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. Watch along for the Ghana vs Nigeria match this Friday as we prepare for that renewal of rivalries. Nigeria all the way to the AFCON final. Ghana group stage elimination. We are worlds apart probably, but when it comes to games between Ghana and Nigeria, form falls back into the background. Form is unnecessary. It accounts for not in the end. So we'll see what happens. Watch along. A venue is yet to be confirmed. We'll update you accordingly when we have all the information gathered. It's this Friday, so just mark it in your calendars that you have to meet and link up with Sahara Football and Football Fans Drive for this watch along. We'll jump right into it, and before we get into the players that are in camp right now in Marrakesh, Morocco, after the camp opened on Monday, 13 players reported to camp, and they had a morning session, as you can see in your pictures right now. The players had a morning training session. It was just a couple of stretches. The rest of the players are expected to join the camp, but before we get into all that, the FA a couple of days ago clarified why some players were not in camp. And despite me being right on those occasions, there were some players that they sought to give clarification on. In fact, they gave clarification on Thomas Partey, Joseph Paintsil, and Iñaki Williams. So Joseph Paintsil, I called it and said that as a result, the player himself had released a statement. As a result of his move to the United States, there are some further immigration documentation procedures he must embark on, which is why he's unable to travel outside the United States until the process is completed. For Thomas Partey, he asked to be excused from the game to gain full fitness following recent injury, and I said Arsenal would probably not risk him for a friendly game. I called it, and he had just come back from injury and getting some playing time. He's an integral part of the Ghana side. Despite being out for so long and them thriving without him, he's still considered a mainstay in their team. So he is being nurtured, and he asked for some time out. Pulled out of the game, Iñaki Williams, that is, to have some rest and fully recover from recent injury setbacks. So Iñaki too needs some rest. Despite him being full throttle a day before the collapse, he needs some rest, and that is why he is not in the team. So I think we can call that about Ashimeru and co. No information on them up that front. 13 players assembled in the training camp in Marrakesh, Morocco, in preparation for the upcoming international game between Ghana and Nigeria and Uganda. The players were goalkeeper Joseph Wallacott, Lawrence Atizigi as well, Andre Ayew, Tariq Lamptey, Antoine Selom Semenyo. Joining the squad was also Kasim Adams. He was called up later, a late inclusion for Kasim Adams. He was not in the initial squad, and we were not made known of that until now. I'm now seeing it. Kasim Adams, Salis Abdo Samer is already in camp. Abdul Fattah Isaaku is already in camp. Patrick Bozo is already in camp. Alidu Seidu is also already in camp. Ernest Nwama is also in camp. Jordan Ayew and Dennis Odoi. These are the 13 players that are already in camp, and more are expected. The rest are expected to join later on today as well. More players will be joining the camp. We wish them all the very best. We hope that we can get one over Nigeria once again, as we have been doing in the past. And silence them. Despite Nigeria being in great form, they let go of their coach Jose Peseiro. Peseiro had been struggling with the Nigerian Super Eagles, but he got a formula that was working for them in the African Cup of Nations tournament. Football needs a certain style of play, and he found that. Unfortunately, when that style he found got him in a pickle in the final, he could not adapt, he could not adjust, he could not find a way to change things that could help Nigeria hold on to their lead or go on to score more goals. And Ivory Coast had the answer there. After that tournament, he has left the post, and it is a Guav one who is in there. It's funny how Ghana has gone back for Toado, this time on a permanent basis, and Nigeria have gone back for a Guavon, and both teams are playing each other. They played each other when both managers were in charge last in March. So it's going to be interesting how this game goes. These two managers have faced each other before. Guavon will be familiar with the tactics of Otoado. That got Ghana the qualification, a 1-1 draw, but qualification in the end. So it will be interesting how these two play it out in that game in Marrakesh, Morocco. The accreditation processes are out if you want to be in Marrakesh, Morocco for that game. Unfortunately, I cannot be there for this one. The All Africa games I'm also focusing on as well as this game. We'll have a live watch along here in Ghana with Football Fan Stripe. They have issued out a threat and told us they are coming to beat us, watch us being beaten at home. Well, we'll see how that one unfolds. And that has been it for today. Talking to you about the Ghana Black Stars team. 13 players more expected to join the camp later on. They have arrived in camp and have had their morning session before their evening first training session in Marrakesh or Morocco. We'll see how things unfold on that front. Nigeria versus Ghana. Then 4 days later, Ghana versus Uganda. Coach Otoado's first games with Ghana in his second stint. We wish him all the very best, despite me having my reservations on Otoado. Yes, it can be that he could be the answer, but it still doesn't stop me from having my reservations. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great week.